Welcome back. The wildfire on Table Mountain is still blazing after flare-ups overnight. Let's get you the latest with our reporter Nasiphi, who joins us live. Nasiphi, good afternoon. Give us a sense of where you are, and I see no evidence of smoke behind you, so you're obviously somewhere safe. But they're not yet under control. Is that the latest update?
Well, Michelle, what I can say to you is that there's a thick layer of smoke over Cape Town CBD, just driving to Signal Hill to get an aerial view of Cape Town. And a couple of hours ago, you could see smoldering still and smoke coming from Table Mountain side. However, on the side of Table Mountain, there has been an update that it is, or rather the cableway has been closed and might open in a couple of days' time. And that is obviously an alert for those that use Table Mountain for recreational purposes, hiking, including those that use the cableway to go up Table Mountain. But we do have an update, and fortunately for us, we do have the senior manager of the Cape region for SANParks. I'm joined by Charles Phahlane. So thank you so much for your time. But you were saying to us that there's a number of resources on the ground and in the air. Just give us a sense of some of the units that are currently working to try and contain this fire.
Yes, we are working with a range of stakeholders that are helping us to fight the fire. The City of Cape Town's fire and rescue team is here with us. They're working for fire, the volunteer wildlife services. They are all assisting us to attend to this fire. We do have aerial support. A number of helicopters are coming in to help extinguish the fire, and we also have crew on the ground that are helping with the fire.
This fire has been raging for the past 3 days, since Sunday, you were saying to us. And obviously we are in the thick of fire season, hot, dry and windy conditions. How has the weather played a role in the fire and the flare-ups that you spoke of?
Yes. Well, we are in the fire season, and we do prepare for it every year because we anticipate that something like this might happen. We have our resources ready. We have our strategies in terms of how soon do we respond to reports of a fire. So with regard to this fire, I think by Tuesday we were making good progress with the fire, but then the wind picked up, especially in the evening, and that wind just spread the fire, and so that's why overnight and even this morning we then had to attend to the fire, which we thought was actually getting under control. So the wind is a factor, and I mean, this is Cape Town. It can get very windy. We have to work within those conditions.
Do we know of any updates for today? Possibly later, is there any alerts? Possibly wind picking up or gust of winds picking up?
Well, I don't have information on possible gusts of wind that may pick up, but I think we are making good progress in attending to the fire. I think the Newlands Ravine, you can see that the smoke that we saw earlier today is now less, so they are making good progress, and we are quite happy with that.
Before we get into the fire this morning and the social media posts that we saw, you were telling me that it is important for every now and then for vegetation fires for the benefit of fynbos, which we have a high concentration of in the Western Cape.
Yes, fynbos is an ecology that also thrives on fire. So naturally, it does need to burn. It could be caused by lightning. It could be oils that just fall on the ground and ignite. But also you've got the human factor. There are unfortunately people that are arsonists who just go out and deliberately start a fire. We do have vagrants in the mountain, so they'd want to cook and keep warm and everything. So those are the challenges that we have to deal with. But the ecology itself needs fire. The only challenge is that you've got Cape Town. It's like a city in a park. So we have to work very closely because we wouldn't want to have runaway fires that are uncontrolled. So when they do happen, we immediately attend to them. We've got property that we need to worry about. We've got people as well. So we don't want runaway fires.
Just for clarity, the fire that started on Sunday, was that a controlled fire or is it still under investigation?
It is under investigation. We don't know at this stage what caused the fire. We received reports at about 3:30 on Sunday morning. That's quite early in the morning, so you wouldn't know what actually happened. But let's allow the fire to be contained and then we can do proper investigations to understand what happened.
You say that Cape Town is a city in a jungle, if I'm correct.
In a park.
In a park. There are a number of residential areas, even on the side of Table Mountain with Fred Hawk. We saw posts this morning from some residents saying that they're anticipating that they might evacuate. Was the fire raging that much in the early hours of this morning?
Well, I think we'd appeal to members of the public to wait for official updates and information. It really doesn't help to come up with your own theory and you put it up on social media and you get people worked up for things that are not necessarily there. We are attending to the fire. The City of Cape Town, the SANParks, a range of support groups are there to help us to deal with the fire. Let us deal with the fire. Let us give you official updates in terms of what is happening.
Thank you so much, Charles Phahlane. He is the senior manager in the Cape Town region for SANParks, giving us an update as far as the fire is concerned that started in the early hours of Sunday morning. However, we are now hearing that about 3 days later, the fire is currently under control. Ground support, including aerial support from various units. We understand that a helicopter assisted this afternoon from Stellenbosch, and it forms part of about 5 helicopters that are currently water bombing the mountain there, Michelle. And I think I think I might even say myself that when we were here about 2 hours ago, we've been stationed here for about 2 hours, and there is quite a significant decrease when it comes to that smoke that you're looking at now. So it is quite good to see that the aerial support and the water bombing is achieving what it intends to. However, at this present moment, hearing from SANParks, they are working around the clock with various other units and departments to try and contain, or rather to ensure that there are no flare-ups. We do know that weather also plays a major impact when it comes to containing these fires, and the Cape Town, rather the Western Cape, is in the thick of fire season, and hot and dry, windy conditions exacerbate these fires. However, with this fire currently happening behind us, this SANParks is saying that this fire will be investigated once they have contained the fire.